And so who do they blame? They blame immigrants, they blame the poor, they blame everyone else, but who the problem is? It's the rich elites. The rich elites on both sides are just robbing us through everything, through our medicine, through our food, through our gas, every single way. We're out here to be out here, fight back. If anyone has anything to say, I'll open the mic to anybody.
Right here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now
okay.
we hear you.
I'm from Puerto Rico, and I had to explain to my mom the other day, literally yesterday, how segregation is literally her age. How despite her being raised in a biracial family, biracial school, and like obviously like we didn't live in the United States, it hasn't been that long. Things haven't changed that drastically. They make it seem like it has, but we have veterans that are still on the street. We have veterans that are literally getting shot up every day. We have black folk who, to this day, like, I don't know, the United States hasn't quite moved on from its original agenda. It hasn't been that long. White supremacy was yesterday. Like, when you really look at it, when you compare our history to, like, our neighbors, Canada, to, like, or down south, it hasn't been that long. Less than 100 years. Less than 200 years, you know? And it's kind of mind-boggling that, I don't know, someone who, I love my mom, so I'm not trying to put her out there, but someone who I grew up and looked up to is educated, having to re-educate them now and open their eyes and let them know that, like, hey, I'm fighting for the same things that you fought.
Yeah.
And it hasn't even been 60 years.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been not even one or two generations, right? You know? So, I don't know. That's just where I'm at. That's just where I'm really disgusted with this administration. And just like America in general, I feel like we shouldn't be going backwards when we haven't even gone 2 steps forward.
Yeah.
You know? But, comme ci, comme ça, et...
Hi, I am from Washington County, the Democratic Party of Washington County, and you are our neighbors. We care about you, we value you, but I brought a congressional candidate. Who knows that we need Congress to listen to us? Anybody here? All right, I have with me one of our congressional candidates for Congressional District 2. His name is Brandon Wade, and he's here right now to talk about policy and to talk about what's happening. Brandon Wade, everyone.
Fellow brothers and sisters, really what I want to talk about most right now is the state our country is in. The injustice that's being done, the hate that's being spilled, it's just overspilling everywhere, and it's ruining our country. It's ruining the American dream. I was talking to a couple of people ago about the American dream is not there and attainable no more. It's not there for the people we're telling come to the greatest country in the world, live the American dream. It's not there for my child who's a sophomore in college this year. We've got to stand up and can come together. This is how we're going to make the change. Everybody coming together, organizing together. I'm a union guy, so I understand organizing. I understand how there's more power when we're together. That's what we're going to have to do. We got to return our government back to the voice of the people. We got to start working for you guys. That's the people. I'm a normal person running for an office because I'm tired of the shit that's going on in our country. I'm tired of everybody being put down. I'm tired of seeing people rounded up off of our streets under the pretense of they're violent criminals out there, and it's just an excuse to round up people that don't look like the people that are here that are in power. And that's something that's got to change. Our immigration system is busted. It hasn't been changed since '86, and it's time to reform it. It's time to do something about it. We have got to stand up and turn out the vote. Oklahoma, you have got to turn out and vote. We can no longer be last in every damn thing we're doing in this state. We need voter turnout. We need people to say it's time for a damn change. It's time to turn around. It's time to start voting people in there that care about the rest of the people in our state and our country. I grow up, I'm from Oklahoma. I've been here my whole life. I grew up living and understanding the Oklahoma standard, neighbors helping neighbors. We are all family. We're all friends. We're all neighbors. We all should be helping one another. And until we get to where we're doing that, that American dream is gone. It's dead, and we're not going to have it back until we fight and claw it back from the corporations, the rich and the wealthy in this country that is holding everybody down. I need to be there so I can force them to do the things that need to be done. It's too long of sitting here and going and saying, these are what we need to do, telling you guys broken damn promises, and then not turning around and following through and backing it up. The Democratic Party has lost faith and trust with their base because they haven't followed up with the promises that they've given. I don't work for the Democratic Party. I'm a Democrat running because that's what I believe in, but I'm running for the people of Oklahoma and for a change. I work for you. So when you elect me and put me in that office, you're the people I'm answering to. You're the people that I got to be held accountable. You guys will hold me accountable, because if I'm not doing what needs to be done, I want a phone call. You guys should be able to get in touch with me. You should be able to talk to me. I will be back here. Tulsa's not my district, but I'll be in Tulsa because it's part of my state. You guys make a difference, and we need to be here to help one another. Washington County's just down the road. So that's what we got to do. Thank you all for coming out, and let's keep standing the fight.
I'd also like to say that we know who these people are. They're fascists, they're cowards, and I just wanted to say that confront them at your workplace, confront them whenever they're spewing their hateful ideologies, because when you do, it lets them know that this is wrong, that this is not the way that you should be thinking, nor the way that we should be living as Americans. Again, this country was built by hard-working people who gave up their lives, uprooted their lives, and moved here to build a better life. And they have. They built such a great and wonderful country because of their hard work and dedication. So confront them. Let them know that there's people like us. There's wonderful people out there that want to see this country continue to progress and not go backwards. And yeah.
Oh, there we go. I just wanted to take just a second to say, if you have it in you to run for any seat, that's what we need to do, because more than half of the seats go uncontested. And we can't win unless we run. And no one's going to vote unless we run, right? So we need people to run. If we have a felon in the White House, I'm sure one of you can do a better job here in Oklahoma. And I just want to finish and say, no ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
I just wanted to say I have red cards. They're Know Your Rights cards, and they're in English and Spanish if anyone wants them. And there's a website inside where you can print them off in tons of different languages. So I have them if anybody wants them. They're Know Your Rights cards.
Hi, I'm Nancy, and I've been trying to educate people about the climate crisis for years. And I think it's really important to consider that the immigration problem, or the mass immigration, the mass amount of refugees that are occurring around the world, is related to climate change. It's estimated 1.5 billion refugees, climate refugees, will exist by 2050. It's also important to know who is most adversely impacted by heat-related illnesses. Latinx workers who very often work outdoors are 3 times more likely to suffer from heat exhaustion. They're more likely to be impacted by air pollution, and we're not protecting them. In the city of Tulsa, in our comprehensive plan, there is mention made that maybe we need a policy to protect our outdoor workers. But it hasn't been acted upon yet, and that's something that you can talk to our sustainability task force about. We need to protect outdoor workers. In some states, including Texas, they've actually made it impossible for cities to have any kind of formal protections against outdoor workers because it hurts the bottom line. So I just want you to be aware, and I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but that the climate crisis is growing and that environmental protections are being dismantled. In Tulsa County, we're seeing 2 data centers that are going to be built. And these data centers are serving as a foil to bring back dirty coal, to open up nuclear power facilities, and it's going to deprive people of water. And your utility rates will probably rise because there won't be enough power generated to meet the needs of these data centers. And when we provide these tax incentives to these companies, it's taking money away from the public coffers for things that would serve our citizens and the residents of Tulsa. And I just wanted to encourage you to look up the Sustainability Task Force and to comment Those comments are welcome until September 30th. And talk about the impact of heat on outdoor workers and the need to address climate change on a local level, because it does impact our immigrants and our outdoor workers, our children, and our elderly disproportionately. Thank you.
Can I get a fuck Donald Trump and a fuck ICE? All right. So we are standing here today in solidarity with our neighbors, our friends, and our coworkers. And we are standing here for human dignity, human rights, and freedom. That is the ability to not be dominated by those that set up these systems of deceit, coercion, and violence. Many of us know the history of the United States in terms of our many interventions and outright wars over resources. From 1846, 98, 1903, 06, 07, 11, 14 through 18, 1953 through 54, 1961, 73, 79, 80, 83, 2004, 2019. All right, Mexico, Panama, Honduras, Chile, Nicaragua, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Venezuela, and Guatemala. All of these are instances of times the United States directly took advantage of these people's resources while fighting for sovereignty. There are many more left out, including the nations through Operation Condor, where CIA helped the local governments kill many people fighting for their self-determination, right? Our country has spent its history destabilizing others and sabotaging any movement that seeks for self-determination. This sabotage and extraction has made much of the world dependent on us, as we have made ourselves dependent on extracting them. A great lie told by every nation is that of the national myth, where we are expected to care for everyone within these made-up lines and to exclude all of those on the outside. I am closer to many parts of Mexico than I am Alaska, yet I am supposed to only have support for those within my nation. If we are asked to care for people we don't know, we have never heard of, and we have never seen, the people outside of our communities, then it only makes sense that I should extend my care towards everyone in the world, not just these imaginary lines. These false lines keep us from free association and keep us from forming international solidarity with our global neighbors. Am I really expected to have more care for the landowners in Beverly Hills than I do for the children that pay rent to their landlords in other nations? Really? Am I supposed to have the same interest? I doubt it. We must ask ourselves why we have allowed these scars on the maps to dictate our lives and our ideas. These lines are only for the few rulers of each nation to keep track of their jurisdiction of their citizens. They divide the land into parts, claiming some citizens and land and therefore taxes and their control over those inside. We must now understand that our struggle is against all of those that are exploiting the planet and people all around, and for international liberation from all systems of domination. Tulsa's sheriff has contracts with ICE, and our governor is going to give no pushback to Trump if he sends full-on ICE raids to the city of Tulsa. We have to be aware of this. We have to be prepared. Are we prepared to protect our neighbors? Are we prepared to deal with legalized racial profiling? Legalized racial profiling, can you imagine that? Are we prepared to take on foreign aggression turned inward on us domestically? If so, Tulsa has to wake up, because no one in this state is coming to save us. Get more of your friends to come out and do ICE Watch, to hand out pamphlets in the community, and to stay in the know so that when ICE comes, Tulsa is ready to melt it.
I want to be a voice of encouragement on top of everyone else. Things are so ugly and disgusting and inhumane. As a Black Honduran American, there's like all the opportunity in the world to feel discouraged and be scared, and I just want to let everyone know not to give into that fear. Of course, we all feel frightened at times, but we are strong. The people are mighty. They can't bring us down. Yeah, definitely stronger together. The people are definitely mighty. Keep fighting, you guys. That's my message. Keep fighting.
I would just like to say that I'm almost emotional over this turnout because for months ICE has been here and they've been taking people from their jobs on the side of roads. I come from an immigrant family. I am a part of an immigrant family. And I don't know, I can't describe the feeling whenever we have a group chat and it goes out, ICE is on Harvard, ICE is on Pine, ICE is on Admiral. We saw ICE vehicles today. I know people who have quit their jobs because they are afraid of being found. And I would like to talk about that fear. This regime is so, they put so much force into their word and so much effort into expulging fear into people because they want us to be afraid. They want us to hide because they want to eradicate us as a people and as a culture. But not only doing that, they're also eradicating the idea of justice and equality. These things that are happening are going to domino effect into future generations. People are still going to be afraid years down the line when maybe it is possible to get your immigrant status, to get your citizenship. People are still going to be afraid to go and do it the legal way. People are still going to be afraid that people are going to be in the streets. Actions speak louder than words, and if these people really wanted to do something about the immigration problem, they would make it easier. They would take all the money that they're putting into ICE and put it into ways that people can become citizens easier. They want to sit there and say, oh, it's not racist. Actions speak louder than words. I feel like together we can make a change. And I'm very happy to be here and be part of it with all you lovely people. Viva Mexico and viva la gente.
Thank you. Viva la raza.
Viva!
As a Mexican, yeah, I'm scared. I'm afraid. I'm worried. But there's this one thing I've learned from my people, from my family. The one thing that we're best at is being fucking pissed off.
Hell yeah!
These pinche putos, they want us to stop speaking Spanish. They want us to be afraid of who we are. I can't hide the fact that I'm brown. I can't hide the fact that I speak Spanish randomly in between every other English word.
Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra!
And being out here and seeing all you people support my people. It makes me emotional all the time when I see the countless cities across this country fight every day. My family's afraid. My mom, who's been here for most of her life, is afraid that today might be the day. But if there's one thing that I try to remind myself, especially it being, well, yesterday it being Mexican Independence Day.
Viva! Viva!
That Mexicans have toppled empires. We've beaten the Spanish. We've beaten the French. We can beat Trump. We can beat this regime.
Yeah!
We don't need to be afraid of some old white dude in some fancy house who's so disconnected from the way things are here on the ground, here with real people. And it's just such a shame to see so many people just duped into his lies, duped into his fascist way of thinking. Because if they would just see past the rhetoric, past the bullshit, they would see that beneath the skin, it's just blood. And every single one of us share that same blood, because not only are we Americans, but we're human beings. And nothing can take that away. Not law, not legislation, not some rhetoric of some dead has-been. I'm done being afraid. I'm ready to be pissed off.
I'm actually just going to reiterate some things others have already said, but many folks have been telling us this forever, that every day the evidence manifests itself over and over in various ways. The issues we see are systemic. They're built in, they're on purpose. We haven't just started seeing immigrant communities being terrorized. Politicians and other so-called community leaders have always used immigrants as a scapegoat to advance their selfish agendas, all while the U.S. employs a policy of harming, starving, disrupting, and destabilizing other countries in a way that drives immigration. Violence to immigrants has only expanded in scope and cruelty over time. And now we have federal agencies with almost endless financial abundance. Most recently, our highest courts have given ICE and other DHS agents the green light to question anyone who is brown or has an accent. If you don't have proper documentation on your person, no matter who you are, you could be detained and even disappear. Immigrants don't come here to harm our communities, but their presence enriches our communities. Working class people, what we allow to happen to one of us will eventually happen to all of us. What we allow to happen to Palestinians will eventually happen to all of us. What we allow to happen to Venezuelans will eventually happen to all of us. What we allow to happen to immigrants here will eventually happen to all of us. We must stand together. We must unite against these systems whose only purpose is to steal and exploit all of us for money at any expense. We must see each other as equals and partners against a powerful and established system of exploitation and white supremacy. We must commit ourselves to each other. The true enemy is capitalism and white supremacy, and it is well organized, with the power of the state backing it up. But together, across identities and cultures, we must unite. We must protect each other and commit to a future with dignity for all. A working class united is an unstoppable force. Abolish ICE, abolish U.S. imperialism.
God down with the fucking empire, guys. God damn. Alright, so I have a very dirty mouth, so I'm sorry in advance to people who are filming. My bad, but not my bad. You guys, this sucks. That this is the way that we have ended up. Whenever I was a child thinking and reading these books on Anne Frank diaries, those kinds of things, right? You're reading these stories about the helpers all along the way in history. And I'm thinking to myself as a child, thinking, oh, of course I would be a helper. Of course, like, why did the grown-ups not do anything? Of course I would help. Well, we are the grown-ups now. Yes. Like, we are the people that we idolized when we were younger. We are the people that are being called upon to actually defend our neighborhood. If we believe in America, if we believe in freedom, if we believe in love and justice, then this is our only option. I know, yes, everyone's been talking about how encouraging it is, but as a white person, I'm ashamed. Because what are we doing? At what point do we just scream in the faces of our friends who do not get it until they do? Because people are dying. People are disappearing off of the street. I used to be homeless. I'm watching my neighbors disappear. The ones that I give water and food to weekly, who I check in with to make sure that they're okay, they're just disappearing. They're given the option of going to a shelter or going to jail. And our immigrant brothers and sisters are not even given that option. They get no choice. They get loaded into a vehicle and carted off as though they are animals. Until we humanize these people, these brothers and sisters of ours, we are all slaves. None of us are a part of the ruling class. None of us have a step up above the other. You are much closer to your immigrant brothers and sisters, to your homeless brothers and sisters, than you will ever be to Donald Trump. He does not care about you. The elite people who have him in their pocket do not care about you. The money at the top gives zero fucks about what you care about. They want one thing: more profits and less benefits for us. But if you notice, the same way that the propaganda from Disney that we watched as kids, you know, A Bug's Life, there's way more of us than there are them. There's a reason we're not being confronted by the cowards that are hiding in abandoned buildings. Because there's too many of us. even with this group of people, you guys, we have to talk to our friends. And I'm not like, I understand you're posting on Facebook, you're posting on Instagram, cool. But maybe actually talk to the people who make microaggressions in their conversation and you just ignore it. Maybe speak up when someone says, oh, look, the homeless people look like they're actually buttoning up their shirts today. Bullshit. Call it out. That's bias. That's hatred. Those are the seeds that lead us to more hate, and we can't do it. I have nothing else really other than that we will continue to fight, and I will continue to show up, and I will continue to see all of you here because we won't let this happen.